Hello everyone, welcome to sqadia.com. Hi, I'm Uzair Hashmi, and today the topic of our discussion is cell cycle regulation. It's basically an extension of our previous lecture in which we talked about cell cycle and what are the different phases starting from the G1 phase, G0 phase, and that G1 phase moved to the synthesis phase, the mitotic phase, G2 phase, and this was followed by the cytokinesis, of course, as well. So in this particular lecture, we are going to focus on the cell cycle regulation, and we'll start off with the discussion of the proteins, the regulatory proteins that are critical for the regulation of this particular cell cycle. We'll start off with the discussion of protein kinases and the ubiquitin ligases, and in this particular case, we are going to have a look on the anaphase promoting complexes and ACF proteins. This would be followed by the discussion of gene regulatory proteins, in which we are going to see how their role, their activation or the transcription initiation plays a role in the formation of some complexes. We will talk about the cyclin CDK complexes that plays an important functions in the regulation of the cell cycle at various different points. This would be followed by the discussion of regulation of mitotic cyclin levels, and we'll have an in-depth view of how these cyclins, they are being regulated with the help of different types of phosphorylation activity and phosphatases activity. We'll talk about the CDC25 and V1 activity. So in the second section, we are going to have a look on the regulation of the kinase activity. We'll start off with the discussion of effect of CDC25 and V1 on the mitosis M phase promoting factor activity. So in this particular section, we are going to see how CDC25 and V1 plays an important role in the both phosphorylation and dephosphorylation of the, of course, the tyrosine residues and the threonine residues at several different places, and we are going to see how these affects the activity of the MPF. This would be followed by the discussion of the regulation of the kinase activity of the MPF, and this would be followed by how the anaphase promoting complex controls the entry to the anaphase from, of course, the prophase and the metaphase, moving towards the anaphase, and then the cell cycle enters into the telophase. This would be followed by the discussion of the control of phase G to S transition. We are going to see what are the different factors that plays an important functions in the establishment of the conclusory remarks that basically send signals from G1 to S cyclin CDK complexes, which basically helps in the transition of G1 to S phase, so that the beginning of the S phase means that the DNA replication begins in this particular example. And we are going to see what the case of the suppression of temperature sensitive CDK, we are going to see how the multiple copy plasmid when inserted creates an enormous amount of variations in the mutant temperature sensitive CDKs. We are going to see the control of G1 to S transition by second molecule, and this would be followed by the discussion of assembly of pre-replication complex PRC. We are going to see what are the different molecules that plays an important role. We are going to see the role of MCM protein, which basically form rings acting as the DNA helicases, and this would be followed by the discussion of cell cycle checkpoint control. In this particular case, we are going to see the regulation of the eukaryotic cell cycle. We are going to have a look on different individual checkpoints that plays an important function in the normal regulation of the cell cycle, so that if there is any kind of abnormalities, if there is any kind of variations that is not normal, the cell cycle stops at that particular time, at that particular checkpoint. This would be followed by the discussion of the chromosome segregation checkpoints, and we'll have a look on the programmed cell death after followed by the chromosome segregation checkpoints. And in this particular case, we are going to have a look on the caspase cascade for the apoptosis, and we are going to see what are the two different types of pathways that leads to the activation of apoptosis. So I hope you're excited to learn more about this particular lecture. I'll see you in the first section. Keep watching sqadia.com. Thank you.